Back home because 3 multimedia journalists picked up awards for quality journalism, fighting off stiff competition from contenders on the West African sub-region at the maiden edition of the West African Media Excellence Awards. Manasseh Azuri was adjudged the best in investigative reporting for his President's Ford Gift expose, while Seth Kwame Boateng picked up awards for human rights reporting and overall best journalist. Now, JoyNews Upper East Region correspondent Albert Sori also emerged first runner-up in the SDGs reporting category. Here's a wrap of last Saturday's event put together by my colleague Komlado.
Overall journalist, best journalist for the WAMECA 2017 awards, and the winner is
Seth Kwame Boateng.
Seth Kwame Boateng, congratulations. Well done.
Various categories of awards were handed out to deserving journalism professionals in the West African sub-region. First, the SDG reporting category saw JoyNews' Upper East regional correspondent Albert Sori coming second.
Albert Sori.
Albert Sori, correspondent for the Multimedia Group Limited in Bolgatanga.
For Albert Sori, Multimedia.
Yeah, so the story I filed was about the open defecation in one community. It was basically to highlight SDG 6, which talks about clean water and sanitation. So that was the story that made me a finalist and eventually a second runner.
While Diamond FM's Nelson Nyado Adanuti came third, and Cecilia Daysop of the Ghana News Agency came fourth. Star FM's Michael Sapong won the ultimate in the SDG category. With his expose on then-President Mahama's Ford Gift, JoyNews' Manasseh Azuri took home the prize for investigative reporting.
The winner is Manasseh Azuri.
In West Africa, globally, he walks away with a plaque and a certificate. Congratulations, Manasseh Azuri Awuni.
I would want to thank mainly my wife. Nelson Mandela, I read his book and he said the wife of a freedom fighter is a widow. But I'm still struggling to find the right description for the wife of an investigative journalist. It takes the support of a media house that is willing to sacrifice everything to stand by you when they are precious to even take money and kill stories, precious to compromise. It is one of the few media houses for me that supports the truest form of journalism, and I would want to dedicate this award to our CEO, Kwesi Chum, and everybody.
Then came the double award winner of the night, 2014 GJA Journalist of the Year, Seth Kwame Boateng. He picked up awards for Best Reporting in Human Rights and the overall West African Journalist of the Year. For him, yet another moment of grace despite the obvious dangers that come with the job.
I picked an infection during the story because I stayed in the prison for long. I passed on the infection to my wife. When I came, I was told I needed to wear a lens or go for surgery to get a problem I had here, my eye, corrected. I'm still battling that. It tells the kind of environment prisoners in the country find themselves. But we thank God through that documentary, I can see over 400 remand prisoners have had their freedom.
Here's Nigeria's Femi Asu of the Punch newspaper, who picked the Oil and Gas Reporting Award with a story on dirty fuels in vehicles in Nigeria.
The struggle that went into it was much of legwork because I had to go to places in Nigeria to see where these vehicles emit so much of, smoke, and then be able to capture those vehicles as they are emitting the smoke, because it was about the dirty fuels from vehicles. So that was a major challenge. But apart from that, it was about getting, people to also speak to that impact of those vehicle emissions and all that. So basically that was the challenge.
Justice Baidu was nominated for the same category. He says this inspires him to do more.
Getting here in the first place was, for me, a big recognition enough. We have fantastic journalists, seniors like Manasseh Azuri and Seth Kwame Boateng has picked the overall. And for me, that is recognition enough for the level of work that we do at multimedia and the sort of content that we produce. And so, yeah, I mean, I am extremely happy to be here, first of all, and also to witness this day. And it is for me, and in fact, not just for me, and for everybody, all the journalists that we have in this country, especially at multimedia, a big push for us to go out there and look out for the journalism that really speaks to the needs of people, touches the lives of people, which then could be recognized as such platforms.
But not all nominees were lucky.
The way is that I have to actually be up and doing and come out with very compelling stories so that I'll come into the limelight. This is a challenge to me, and I'm going to ensure that I do that.
For the judges of the award scheme, it was months of painstaking exercise, eventually paying off.
It has been a challenge because we received hundreds and hundreds, 400 entries, different languages, French and English, different countries, different media, different stories, different topics, and then judging and selecting was not easy. And then we had all kinds of qualities. But in the end, what made the difference, whatever the topic, is if you have a good topic and then you can capture the attention and the interest of the reader or the viewer, that's a good story to begin with. And then selecting all those who win, if you look at them, they're all pieces of ground journalism. They went out to get the news and to turn it into a story that really moves the viewer or the auditor or the reader, to touch them, to inform them, and let them know that something is happening in the country. Understand.
Organizers of the awards, Media Foundation for West Africa, believe this is the beginning of championing what they describe as quality, professional and impact-driven journalism on the continent, and the following years can only get better.
It is our hope that at the end of the day, the people here would be inspired by this process, the journalists will be inspired by this process, and what we are looking for is quality journalism at the end of the day. Because as we have it in our theme for this year, we want to impact lives through media excellence, and that is what we are seeking to do, and we hope that we'll be able to achieve that.
Certainly, we are proud of all the 3 journalists who won awards for the multimedia group. Seth Kwame Boateng joins me in the studio. I'm very privileged to have you in the studio. Seth, terrible. Seth, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're extremely proud of you, Seth, for doing us this honor. This honor certainly should be motivating enough to get you to do more, Seth.
Yes, and it's not about Seth. I keep saying that it's about how we all joined forces to do this. We all played various roles, drivers, cameramen, engineers, the editors. We all worked together to achieve this. So yes, we can't stop. I said that when I was giving my speech, that it's going to motivate us to go the extra mile. The challenge is anytime an award comes my way, it tells me that I can't reduce the standard. Either maintain it or improve on it. And so it's another headache for me. Yeah, it's a headache for me because to win overall best journalist in West Africa is a big deal. And you can't, going forward, do stories or bring out issues that
below the standard.
Exactly. So it's a real challenge, and I think we are equal to the task. And we're going to do more to change lives. We have to, as it were, use the platform that we have, the gifts that God has given us to impact society, to change things. And that's exactly what we are doing.
Seth, which of your stories won you the best human rights journalist and also the overall best
One story did all. One story did both.
So you used one stone to kill.
Exactly. So that was Left to Rot. A documentary I did on the state of our prisons, and I did the first one, Locked and Forgotten, in 2015, where the Chief Justice, then George Nawood, activated a number of measures to reduce the congestion issues I highlighted in the prison. I must say I'm also grateful to her for the initiative, the Justice for All team that have been going around the country, Justice Sunyenuga and Justice Ometo and the rest of the judges, as well as those in the prisons authorities and Interior Ministry for allowing us to enter the prisons with our cameras. So that documentary, I did the Locked and Forgotten, and I followed up with Left to Rot, and that won us this award. I think they looked at the impact of the story, the fact that scores of people who were on pretrial detention, some for 5, 6, 8, 10 years, got their freedom following this single documentary, and the kind of lives this documentary touched, and how authorities are still working around the clock to fix the numerous issues we raised in that documentary.
Now, there are many journalists out there who want to do very detailed work like you're doing, expose rot in society, get the vulnerable, be the voice for the vulnerable, get institutions, government authorities to work. But somewhere along the line, they get disappointed because of, number one, bureaucracy, number two, unavailable information, or information not readily available for journalists. And all of these things frustrate a lot of journalists out there. I know you've been through some of these things. How did you walk through it, and what advice would you give to other journalists so they can do so?
Consistency. And I'm the type, I don't understand no. If you tell me no,
you don't take no for an answer.
No, I don't understand.
Okay.
I'll tell you I don't understand.
It's not in your dictionary.
It's not in my dictionary. Whatever I want, you have to provide. I remember last week or two, I needed to interview the Interior Minister. I had been looking for him for months. He was in his office when I went there. I said, Minister, I've come. You have to grant me the interview. Then he said, I don't have a choice, I will do it. I said, you don't understand no. I said, yes, I don't understand no.
Okay.
I must get it.
Okay.
And also it comes with time. You know, I've been through that. It wasn't easy. But with time, people get to know your work and the results that may come when they give you the information that you need. So it comes with time. And I will tell them not to be discouraged. It's what I'm enjoying now or witnessing now didn't just come. It was over a period, because I started producing documentaries way back in 2008, and I wasn't picking up any awards, but I wasn't discouraged. People were rejecting me. I wasn't discouraged. I told myself, I want to touch lives. I want to change things. So I will persist. I'll continue pursuing. And here we are today with some of these wonderful awards. So those up and coming and my colleagues, don't give up. You'll be frustrated. I've been frustrated a number of times. But don't give up. Your ultimate aim is to change lives, is to touch lives. Don't look at the prize for now. Look at what the changes that your story can trigger, the lives you can save with your stories. That's what I always look at. It's not about awards. I don't do stories because I want to win awards, but it happens that I do some of these stories and I get awards.
What I pick from your last sentence is that we must push hard. I mean, when you push 1, 2, and you're not getting the results, do not, don't relent. Don't give up. Just keep on pushing until you get what you're looking for. Are there some more surprises in the pipeline?
Yeah, I have more coming up. I should have been in other parts of the country even now.
Okay.
I'm bringing up another wonderful thing, so I'm not going to tell our viewers, but stay tuned. I have something big coming up very soon.
Definitely.
Very soon.
When Seth says something big is coming up, then it's something really big, because we've seen all the big things he's done. We're really proud of you. Congratulations to you once again, Seth. And we're proud of all the other journalists who won awards for multimedia. Manasseh Azuri-Awone won Best Investigative Journalist. And we also have Albert Sori, our Eastern Region correspondent, taking up the first runner-up of the SDG category awards, and we're very proud of them. Justice Bading was among the nominees for oil and gas, but it just came up that he didn't pick up the overall best. But of course, being finalist in that category is no mean job. We are extremely grateful and very, very honored by these awards, and that our journalists swept at the West Africa Foundation WAMECA 2017 Awards, and we congratulate them and we say let's keep up the good work, let's keep up the teamwork. We will always support each other to bring this honor to the multimedia group. It's a great group, of course, and of course some of us are very privileged to be part of this group. So